day of USL League One drama concludes in the Antelope Valley as AV Alta welcomes in the Chattanooga Red Wolves. Tonight's match is presented by Paris Law Firm, the largest, the nation's best for personal injury attorneys, proud founding partner of AV Alta FC. Find out more at paris.com. Welcome one and all to the broadcast. My name is Mark Schoenster. Excited to have you in. Some names are going to be missing today for both sides. For AV Alta, two national team call-ups, Denzel Smith, starting goalkeeper, and Javier Barriona, a young player who already has a ton of experience in USL League One, will both be missing here this evening. Also worth acknowledging Joshua Ramos for the Chattanooga Red Wolves, also off with the U.S. Virgin Islands. Gotta tip the cap, but also next man up for both sides. Brian Clavin was telling me that it's an opportunity for someone new to shine here, so let's see what they can do. Now, let's rewind a bit to last year. The only other time these two teams have met here in the Antelope Valley, and what an exciting game it was. A 3-2 victory for AV Alta against the Chattanooga Red Wolves. Chattanooga did not lose a lot last year, so any win against them is one that's pretty big for the other team. It was also just their second league win of the season, AV Alta, in their inaugural year. So a lot to be proud of, especially from Jimmy Villalobos, a former Chattanooga Red Wolf, who has been pretty successful in his games against Chattanooga since leaving the club. Granted, he's had a couple of stops since he's played for Chattanooga, but it seems he's always successful when he goes up against those guys. He'll be looking to continue that trend here this evening. Meanwhile, for Chattanooga, they finished second place last year in the league table. Scott McKenzie was telling me, all right, how do we make that extra jump? There's two things in particular. One, can they upgrade their goal scoring, find a real bona fide goal scorer this season? And also, can they translate their success that they find at home on the road? They struggled a little bit more, especially when you have to travel far all the way out to AV Alta. Can you make it work when you're not in front of your home crowd? And one guy that they're looking to, it's our WM player to watch for the Red Wolves, Omar Hernandez. Great start last season great start in his first season into last season, and now this season had a goal and assist in the season opener. They're looking for him to continue to add more to his contributions each and every season, and this year in particular, they need him to be both creator and finisher. Some important names missing for both teams tonight, which means an opportunity for someone new to shine. It's an early season collision between AV Alta and the Red Wolves coming up next on ESPN+. Lineups and kickoff are around the corner.
Toyota of Lancaster's Buy Local and Save sales event is on. Come down today to save big on hundreds of vehicles in stock. Cars, SUVs, trucks, hybrids, and more. We have new vehicles arriving daily in the market for a used vehicle. Toyota of Lancaster has a massive selection of used and Toyota certified used vehicles to choose from. Drive with confidence in the vehicle you deserve. Bad credit, no problem. Toyota of Lancaster will make your vehicle purchase safe, simple, and fun. Shop online at toyotaoflancaster.com. Toyota of Lancaster. Buy local and save.
It's time to march to the mountains with a free lift ticket giveaway. Book your stay now at bigbear.com and receive complimentary lift tickets to Bear Mountain or Snow Summit. Stay 2 nights between March 1st and the end of ski season, and you can redeem your free lift tickets with qualifying reservations. Spend $250 to $599 and receive 1 lift ticket. Spend $600 or more and receive 2 while supplies last. Tickets are valid through the end of ski season, subject to date change. Book now at bigbear.com.
When it comes to healthcare, you want all aspects of your care to connect and to work in harmony. Introducing Southwest Healthcare, a comprehensive network of care working together to serve you and your loved ones. Palmdale Regional Medical Center is proud to be a part of this new, expanded system. Our goal is to provide high-quality healthcare services that benefit you, your family, and our entire community. Experience health in harmony today with the new Southwest Healthcare.
Time, there wasn't a place where everyone could come together. Families, kids, generations, all under one thing. But out in Lancaster, something truly special was growing under the lights.
AV Alta's brand new 2026 El Clasico kit is on sale in stadium and online now. Courtesy of Hummel, the club's official jersey provider. Check out the full line of new AV Alta gear, including the new Poppy collection, by visiting shop.avaltafc.com. let's take a look at our lineups. Tonight's starting lineups are presented by Visit Palmdale. With miles of hiking trails, a thriving art scene, plenty of lodging, and a rich aerospace industry, Palmdale's the perfect launching point for your high desert adventure. Here's a look again at AV Alta's lineup here for Brian Clavin. Already mentioned our WM player to watch, Jimmy Villalobos, once again going up against his former team, but also a veteran presence on such a young squad. He is playing at his best at this very moment in his career, according to the coach, as we pivot over to the Chattanooga Red Wolves. Just one change from their lineup against the Greenville Triumph 2 weeks ago. Toby Adewale is in for Ramos, who is, of course, on international duty. It's a really barren bench today for Scott McKenzie. Just 6 players, one of which is an academy guy. So we'll see how he opts to operate with his shorthanded bench. Some of these guys are going to be asked to play the full 90 minutes. Maybe it's players that aren't used to having to do that, but they're going to need to adapt and make it work, especially after a long travel. And we are underway here from AV as AV Alta hosts Chattanooga. Our head official for this match is Dion Cox. Let's get this one going. Home side will try to get things in a positive way in the opening moments. I would expect throughout this game a lot of possession to be in favor of the home side. AV Alta, a side that wants possession, and Chattanooga, a team that has really made a mark as a side that is totally fine not having the ball and instead waiting for their opportune moment to strike and spend the rest of the game defending and boating and waiting for when the prime opportunity arises. It's a style that requires some steely nerves, but they have definitely done a great job of finding players who can fit that mold, Chattanooga. It's just the third time these two teams have matched up against each other, as Nick Relaford will play it out wide to Cesar Bahena. Relaford into the middle, knocked away. Some slippage here. Bahena picks up the loose parts. Curling ball sent in! A rapid fire start for AV Alta. A loose end was left open, and the home side are quick to take advantage. Slippage from Ayambila, and Cesar Bahena chops in a beautiful cross that's then knotted off the woodwork. That's Adam Aumesh, the left winger, getting the job done. We're watching on the replay. This replay brought to you by US Outdoor Lighting, making America bright since 1984. And that goal was brought to you by Snow Orthodontics. Score your best smile with Snow. Adam Aumesh, his first goal of the season. One of the returning players to this squad. And he makes it happen here. What a ripping start for the home side. And in many ways changes the complexion of this game. Because I mentioned within the first 2 minutes that Chattanooga are usually comfortable not having the ball, but now they've got to figure out a way to find an answer here as they get a corner kick brought to you by Toyota of Lancaster. Omar Hernandez, one of our players to watch, sends it in. Jordan Ayambila to Gomez, and we slotted over the left-hand side for Hernandez again. Not a bad curling ball, but it's claimed by the goalkeeper, Jabril Doumbia. This injury report is brought to you by Southwest Healthcare. Southwest Healthcare Palmdale Regional Medical Center brings health in harmony. Visit palmdaleregional.com for more information on all of our hospital services. Unreported for AV Alta, though, of course, they do have the 2 players missing on international duty. These are the 3 reported for Chattanooga. They do have a injured Ryan Wessels on the bench today. Certainly going to be limited as an option. And then they're also missing Joshua Ramos on international duty, so a lot of guys who are not up for selection. For Chattanooga in particular, it's quite the challenge, especially on a long road trip. It's already a pretty small roster. Running in is Osvaldo Lay. And it'll be cleared out over to the corner. And it'll be a set piece chance for AV Alta. It'll be Jerry Desdune who will provide the service from the left corner flag. This corner kick brought to you by Toyota of Lancaster. It'll be played short. Desdune lifting it in, and they'll have another go at it from the corner flag. Well, they've been struggling to score in their first few games, AV Alta. They got those woes out of the way real quick in this affair against Chattanooga. It was a 0-0 draw against Portland Hearts of Pine last week. As this one's also played short. Desdune. Cross goes straight into the face of Ayambila. Now Mesh will play it over to the left-hand side. Here's Hernandez on the other side. A cheeky attempt, well off target. Let's take a look at tonight's keys to the match, presented by Big Bear Lake, where moments on the pitch and in the mountains become tradition. Start yours at bigbear.com. For AV Alta, the objective is take the plunge, which is that Chattanooga always wants to keep everything in front of you. So once you get one of your playmakers with the ball at your feet, you as one of the other players on the pitch need to recognize the pattern and make the run behind. Try to find that slipping pass, but your teammate can't make that final pass without you making the run, so you gotta recognize when those moments come. Meanwhile, for Chattanooga, this AV Alta team is really good at rotating personnel throughout the game, and so as a defender, you gotta recognize the personnel that's in front of you, what they're capable of doing when you defend them. Stay dialed in, stay locked in on what this AV Alta team can throw at you. Already a 1-0 lead for the home side. Some opportunistic play. Cesar Bahena with the lovely cross, and Adam Almesh from the left side, nodding it home. And here's Almesh dashing ahead. Almesh got it poked free. We got another corner kick on the deck. This corner kick brought to you by Toyota of Lancaster. It'll once again be Jerry Desdune. He'll play it short. Bahena. Cleared away by the Red Wolves, and now a foul drawn gives Chattanooga possession deeper down the pitch. As I was mentioning earlier, though, AV Alta did well to limit chances against Portland Hearts of Pine, and it was a 0-0 draw, and Brian Clavin can be happy with a lot of the things in that game, but he felt the result didn't reflect the performance. I mean, you obviously want to get 3 points at home, especially when you're up a man for over 30 minutes. Early on in the season, though, you can always be a little bit more forgiving of not getting the full amount of points you could get in the match just because you're in the developmental stages, and what's more important is how you're playing, how you're performing, and the results will come as the year goes along. Certainly being rewarded very quickly in this game for a fortuitous moment. Meanwhile, for Chattanooga, their first league game was a road win where they did go down early in that game as well. They were down 1-0 against Greenville, ended up flipping the result, making it 2-1. A game that Scott McKenzie thought was an overall good performance. Felt confident most of the game in the way his guys were playing. He was proud the early goal didn't rattle the guys, and we'll see exactly how they respond to the early goal in this one. So far, they seem pretty composed. Now they'll try to launch the counterattack. And they could be onto something here. This one drifting a little wide, though, for Hernandez. Curling cross dealt with easily by Relaford. Once they were able to get that lead against Greenville, they felt pretty comfortable playing defense as that one sprays out of bounds. It's always funny when it comes to assessing a Chattanooga Red Wolves game versus other matches, because Scott McKenzie said it. I mean, if you were a different team and you looked at some of the numbers coming out of a game, you would think that you'd need to be concerned. But for Chattanooga, they don't mind being the team with less possession and conceding more shots. It's a little bit more about the eye test with them, and sometimes you can have a lot of shots go up against you in a game, but that doesn't necessarily mean they were good ones. And sometimes you have a ton of possession, you can't find anything good, and so you're just letting ill-advised efforts fly because nothing else is working. Meanwhile, Mercer. There's always going to be a tight bend to get onto that ball, put it on frame. Grayson Mercer donning the thick headband. Already has 1 goal this season in the 1 game they've played. Bahena. Up to Villalobos. And he'll streak forward. Desdune feeds Almesh. The early goal scorer in this game. Miguel Bajaro wide to Relaford as the Alta doing what they love to do, which is possess. They're not afraid to build out from the back. They will rotate and cycle and play the ball, utilize the width of the pitch. Desdune, push down, free kick incoming for the home side. Chick-fil-A Lancaster and Palmdale are proud to partner with AV Alta FC. Eat more chicken with the new Chick-fil-A season ticket and family pack, which gives you a free original chicken sandwich at every match. Check out all match tickets by visiting avaltafc.com. Free kick opportunity. It's a good distance away from goal, but if you've got someone who's a specialist at this spot, a shot directly on target is not out of the possibility. Desdune will let it rip, and it's handled by Jason Smith. Mercer does well to track that one down. Hernandez. Take it all the way back, and Toby Adewale wide as Chattanooga try to find a way to crack through here. some players missing right now for AV Alta, of course. Opportunities arise for different players to step into the limelight, including some young players. Brian Clavin mentioning that they've got 9 guys under 22 on this roster who will all play significant minutes this season for the side. There's going to be peaks, there's going to be valleys. Inexperience and mistakes will happen, like that Open Cup loss that they suffered. They're willing to accept that. Mentioned that the ownership for AV Alta understands what they're going for here and backs them every step of the way, and that's so important. Obviously, you're also trying to win games in the process, but when you want to win a certain way, sometimes you don't get that buy-in from everybody. But I did not get the impression at all that there's any wavering from any element of the organization. Look, I mean, they were on the precipice of making the playoffs last season and year number 1. Just got to look to upgrade it a hair this year, and bingo, you're in. And once you get to the playoffs, I mean, who knows what will happen. I mean, sometimes teams that sneak in can make waves, and that's all that matters. Chattanooga, also a team that were bounced in the opening round of the Open Cup in upset manner against Tennessee Tempo. Scott McKenzie mentioned how you can't control the uncontrollables, one of which being a flat tire on the bus, delaying the game. Obviously, that's really gonna mess up the routine and your approach. So you can't control those things, but he mentioned you can control your reaction to them. He gave a lot of credit to Tennessee Tempo for their play in the game. It also works as a good contrast for the season as a whole. They play 2 matches. You've got a great example of what a game looks like when you're executing against Greenville, and they have an example of what it looks like when you're having a bad time. AV Alta trying to give them another example of the latter. It can be instructive and serve as a reminder to players all season long. This is what happens when we're not committed to what we do. Do have a player down for the home team. Here's a look again on the replay brought to you by US Outdoor Lighting, making America bright since 1984. Contact there, but it will be a throw-in for the home side. AV Alta's brand new 2026 El Clasico kit is on sale in stadium and online now. Courtesy of Hummel, the club's official jersey provider. Check out the full line of new AV Alta gear, including the new Poppy collection, by visiting shop.avaltafc.com. The Chattanooga team that's very direct, a counter-attacking team. Brian Clavin mentioned in this game, one of the key elements will be getting playmakers on the ball. Guys like Cesar Bahena as Grayson Mercer takes it in the other direction. How about that sliding challenge? Miguel Bajaro stepping in. It'll be a corner kick for the visitors. Looking to find an equalizer here in the early stages of the game after a second-minute goal for Adam Almish. Corner kick brought to you by Toyota of Lancaster. Ball headed towards goal. Knocked off the line. Jimmy Villalobos does a little bit of everything. Hernandez lofting it in, and that one just go in? It's a goal for Chattanooga. Holy smokes! The Red Wolves have equalized. Let's see if we can peek this again. Tumbia just missing the punch out, and it's knotted in by the visitors. We're back on level here. A relatively quick response for Chattanooga. So it's 1-1. Wow. All right, well, let's talk about this matchup again here. Now that we're back on even terms, 20 minutes into the game. AV Alta need to find another goal if they're going to get all 3 points in this fixture, and they're going to be looking to their playmakers to make that happen. Guys like Cesar Bahena, Jerry Desdune, Ramos, Villalobos. All players go with the final ball, which means it's about then making those runs behind if you're not the guy on the ball, as this one is lofted in and knotted away by Ayambila. For Chattanooga on the other side of things, obviously, defensively, as I mentioned, the question is who is coming from where. You got to stay dialed in on those things. So we've got another corner kick brought to you by Toyota of Lancaster. Desdune, squaring it across, takes a deflection. Lay, turning, plays it back to the right-hand side. Bahena with the chip. Players going down in the box. Action will keep going. Ball is bobbling around, and Lay lets it fly. It won't drop. Another U.S. Outdoor Lighting replay here. It's a scuffle. Chattanooga survive it, though. Here's Hernandez. His shot immediately blocked. And now a player down for AV Alta. Perhaps appealing an elbow being thrown his way. Miguel Pajaro. And he may have a case there, taking one straight to the head. So players going up for the airborne ball. Obviously, there is some risk there whenever you go up for a ball airborne like that. This injury stoppage is brought to you by Southwest Healthcare. Southwest Healthcare, Palmdale Regional Medical Center, brings health in harmony. Visit palmdaleregional.com for more information on all of our hospital services. Good to see Pajaro back up on his feet. Our head official today, Dion Cox. Mercer making the run forward. Grayson Mercer goes down in the box, and it's a point to the spot. Grayson Mercer making the run. Knocked over by Kaloyan Pelivanov. Trying to hit the brakes, and Pelivanov took him with him. So after going down in the second minute, Chattanooga now have the opportunity to have the lead under 30 minutes later. Now the question is, who will take it? Right now, Matt Bentley, the one walking to the spot. And now it's been laid off for Omar Hernandez. But will it be Gomez to take it? Looks like he's issuing some words of advice, Omar Gomez. That's Hernandez, who already has 1 goal this season. Steps up to the plate, one-on-one with Jibril Doumbia. And Hernandez, cool as you like, slides it bottom left corner. Chattanooga up top. How about the response from the Red Wolves in this game? Another look at the U.S. outdoor lighting replay. Easily done by Omar Hernandez. Giving his team the lead now. Well, the first game was an exciting 3-2 matchup, and we've already got 3 goals in this one. Off to a ripping start. That goal is brought to you by Snow Orthodontics. Score your best smile with Snow. Now how did AV Alta respond? A lot of contesting for that ball. Osvaldo Ley on the ground now, and certainly some players in disagreement with that decision. Ortiz rolls it over to the left-hand side for Almesh. Tap back to him, Almesh. Gliding in, tripped up. Ref says it's fair play. And now the Red Wolves go long, trying to find Mercer. He can't quite reach it. The USL Championship and League One are on CBS Sports and ESPN platforms all season long. Catch live matches and expert analysis every day on the CBS Sports Golazo Network and ESPN+. Go to USLChampionship.com or USLLeague1.com for the complete USL TV listings. Osvaldo Ley getting tripped up once again. Free kick incoming. So what an emotional first 30 minutes in this one for Jibril Doumbia, goalkeeper for AV Alta. Stepping in for Denzel Smith, who is currently on international duty. Guy they think highly of, AV Alta, but let one go in and open play, and then, I mean, what can you do really about a penalty? But still, as a goalkeeper, you take them all personally. Was their 3rd goalkeeper last year, trained incredibly well. So they were excited for him coming into this game. Certainly not how he forecasted this game going so far, but still a chance for him to step up and do some big things in this game. More importantly, we'll be hoping that they can find some production offensively, as this one punched away by Dumpia. He's out of his box. And he takes matters into his own hands there and makes it work. Dumpia skates by one defender, or at least one aggressor, I should say. Hernandez flying towards him, trying to force the mistake. Pajaro. Center back's always willing to get involved here for AV Alta. Two sturdy guys there in the back with Helivanov and Miguel Pajaro. Pajaro, of course, donning the captain's armband. Villalobos. This is a short-handed Chattanooga side, currently up 2-1 in this ball game. It's a 19-player roster, 5 of which are unavailable, and if the math isn't mathing in your head, that's because it isn't. That means they don't have enough players to have a full 18. As this one slips through to Desdune. Pushed away. Ref says it's fair play. Acosta playing it forward. Hernandez out to the right-hand side for Bentley. Bentley shoots, punched away by Dumpia. That one will be called for a foul, and Chattanooga incensed by it. Here's a look again on the U.S. Outdoor Lighting replay. Dumpia doing well there to knock it out of harm's way. Osvaldo Lay getting tracked off by Grayson Mercer. Very involved here in these first 30 minutes, Dion Cox. You always know it's going to be a bit of a scrapping match when Chattanooga plays. They play a physical style, and every game of football is about finding the line that the ref draws, and you try to see just how far you can push it with your physicality. Every ref has a different definition of where that line is. Such a gray line sport. What you want, though, is just consistency from your head official and the rest of the crew. And another Toyota of Lancaster corner kick. Bahena rips this one inside. Desdune. And the swerve backwards for a moment, and it's now once again going forward. Bahena has the assist on the first goal today, which is now the first of 3 in this match. Desdune. onto the left-hand side. Almash with a nice move. Almash sending into the middle. Took a glance. And another corner kick incoming for the home team. Creativity with the ball at his feet, Adam Almash. And his efforts earn him a corner kick brought to you by Toyota of Lancaster. Desdoon. That one nodded out. Bahena. High launching ball, and Jason Smith getting the pull up in. Select is proud to be the official match ball supplier of USL League One. From the grassroots to the pros, Select is there every step of the way. Visit us.select-sport.com for the latest Select products, specials, and more. Select, the player's choice. Player on the ground now for Chattanooga. Hands on his face. Omar Hernandez. Slow to get up. Let's take a peek at what occurred here, if we can sneak a peek. Claiming to have gotten hit in the face by Jimmy Villalobos. This injury stoppage is brought to you by Southwest Healthcare. Southwest Healthcare Palmdale Regional Medical Center brings health in harmony. Visit palmdaleregional.com for more information on all of our hospital services. Our latest goal scorer in the game, Omar Hernandez, walking to the sideline, awaiting to be waved back into the match, is from a penalty kick, drawn by Grayson Mercer, by the way. Curling ball sent in, claimed by Doumbia. And he'll chuck it over to the right-hand side for Bahena to claim. I think they're gonna play on here. Well, for a moment, was a pretty significant foul. Bahena essentially clotheslined. And now action will resume. Almash. Turning on the burners, wipes out, and I mean, he assumed a foul was going to be called, and it wasn't. Puts his hand straight on the ball, and at that point, obviously, it's easily a free kick for Chattanooga. Gotta wait for the whistle. No matter how obvious you think a decision is. Experience the best night in the AV. The 2026 season schedule is presented by Morongo Casino Resort and Spa. AV Alta are set to host Union Omaha on Saturday, April 4th. Kickoff for that match is at 7:30 p.m. and tickets are on sale now. Get yours before they're gone at avaltafc.com. Doumbia. Back over to Livanov. The 6 players on the bench today for Chattanooga. One who's only half available. Obviously, one of them is a goalkeeper, Ricardo Jerez. And then you've got two guys on academy contract with the second team. Recently developed program for the Chattanooga Red Wolves ecosystem, the Red Wolves 2 team in the UPSL. Good to have that now, though, because you have the ability to dig into that when you're a bit shorthanded like this. Nathan Donahoe and Tristan Torres, both guys whom we might see at some point today, depending on how action transpires. Desdune out to Bahena. Working his way inside, chops across in. He's a little too high on the service. Another cross. Iambila does well to prevent a corner kick. Nick Relaford. Throw it near the 18, it's knotted away. Straight to Coach Claben. Mentioned the big thing they were looking to upgrade this season in year number 2 was chance creation. Heads up. Looks like nobody was hurt in the aftermath of that. That lower ball, you're in the splash zone. Gotta be careful about where that ball could end up ripping towards. Relaford. Well, he's afforded space, so he'll take it. And he's earned his side a corner kick. Well, at least it seemed like it with the way that one went, but must have just spun off his boot funky. Defender was nearby, but did not make contact. Relaford did that all by himself. Soccer season is here, and SeatGeek is the official ticketing partner of the USL. Get all your USL tickets and more from the #1 ticketing site. SeatGeek, your ticket to great seats. Bahena. Cross curling inside, caught by Smith. Relaford. Roll this one back to Doumbia. And he'll get it out of harm's way. As I was saying earlier, though, the big thing they wanted to upgrade this year, AV Alta, was chance creation. And so far, so good this season in that category. They had 19 shots in game 1, 21 in game 2. They only had 1 goal from the penalty spot to show for it. And although it's frustrating because you haven't found those goals, but they're already demonstrating that they're a more dynamic team this season, and you figure the goals will come as the year goes along. And well, they got one in the opening moments of this game, but they're gonna need some more because Chattanooga has flipped the script and maybe on the hunt for another. Bentley went down a little too easily. Ortiz laying out to the left-hand side for Almesh. Almesh sends it inside, knocked outward. Here they come, Mercer. How about that challenge and tackle from Kaloyan Helivanov? Did so well that he earned the glance off of Grayson Mercer to even prevent the corner kick. The 22-year-old Bulgarian center back stepping up to the plate. Now Relaford. Getting it into Bahena. Miguel Pajaro. Some space to go forward. Well, there's a collision just outside the penalty area. And we've got our first booking. Matthew Acosta with his second yellow card of the season. This yellow card brought to you by Paris Law Firm, the nation's best for personal injury attorneys. Here's a look again on the U.S. outdoor lighting replay. I mean, you just run into a man. I mean, what else is the ref going to do? Sometimes you can get away with some contact when you're not near the ball, but not when it's as visually apparent as that was. So now we have this free kick opportunity for AV Alta. Step up shot, goes through the wall, of course losing all of its sting in the process. And look out, splash zone once again. Similar vicinity to last time. Always got to be aware. Ball knocked away for a deep throw here, as the fourth official indicated. 5 minutes of Southwest Healthcare stoppage time. Southwest Healthcare Palmdale Regional Medical Center brings health in harmony. Visit palmdaleregional.com for more information on all their hospital services. Back to the corner nicely, and it'll be ripped up the pitch. We're put in a precarious spot, and sometimes the best answer is to just launch it down the pitch and prevent anything silly from happening. Things have settled a little bit here as the half is worn on. A chaotic first 25 minutes to this game. A goal in the second minute for AV Alta. Chattanooga answers about 18 minutes later. And then a penalty kick just 5 minutes after that awarded. And the visitors currently have the lead as Almesh. He's had some dangerous moments in this game, and of course a goal. Desdune. Over to Bahena, who's been heavily involved. Bahena cutting inside. Still going. Bahena rolling it towards goal. And easy work for Jason Smith at the end. Down the left-hand side, here's Jordan Iambila. And Dubia, excuse me, catching the cross. Easy work for the 6'2" goalkeeper. Making his debut with AV Alta in league play. Sent to the 18, knotted along. Jason Smith gets there in time. Claiming it before anybody in a home jersey can get to it first. Just about 30 seconds to go before that halftime whistle. Hernandez. That cross certainly lacking the accuracy he was hoping for as we get that halftime whistle. So, a lot for both these teams to think about after now 50 total minutes. But it's Chattanooga who have the 2-1 lead. Early goal for AV Alta, and then the two responses once again for the Red Wolves going down early, but having answers to take the lead in the match. With that in mind, we're gonna step aside for the halftime break. We've got some content coming up for you here on ESPN+. We'll see you there after these messages.
When it stays on? When it stays on.
When it stays on? Yeah.
When it stays on.
Insurance companies are not your friend. In fact, their sole job is to make certain you get as little as possible at a time when you need it the most. At the Paris Law Firm, we have a long track record of forcing insurance companies to pay you every penny that you're owed. If you've been hurt in a crash, call us at the Paris Law Firm so we can help you in your time of need.
Halftime is presented by Pepsi. It's 2-1 in favor of Chattanooga right now after the first half of action. Mark Schoenster with you on the broadcast. The Red Wolves down early. They flip the script. Easy as that. Now both teams will look to see how they can tip the game in their favor in the second 45 as we look at a team of the week. Vincenzo Candela and Union Omaha really sweeping up here, doing very nicely. Diego Gutierrez off the bench getting 2 goals to win that game against Boise. They were able to get the win again earlier today in a dramatic one against Corpus Christi. What a match that was. But that's talking about today. We also have some highlights from last week on top of the Team of Week awards. Let's take a peek at the goal and save of the week.
League One second team selection the year before last. Brett, great ball to the far side, left behind by Fitch, who gets it back from Siobhan John Brown. A lovely flowing move from Spokane, and they get the opener.
Spokane dominated its matchup with the Cosmos thanks to link-up plays like this. Nico Brett with a beautiful curling pass forward, and Siobhan John Brown has options. Simon Fitch has eyes forward, and Jack Denton trails him. The ball goes to Fitch, though, with plenty of space, and a watchful eye on Jack Denton with the first touch finish. A beautiful passing play all around. The velocity are in sync for your select USL League One goal of the week.
Godwin tries this into the 6, just in the spot, disrupted, fired, and Cash makes the save. Oladapo, a howitzer, is saved by Cash.
We all have goals. But let's be honest. Most of us aren't going to be professional athletes. But if your goal is to finish your degree, we can help. Come to a university that puts your goals first. Bellevue University, your partner in finishing goals.
Today, we accomplished nothing. I mean it, not a thing. And it was kinda everything.
This spring, stay 3 nights and get a $50 Best Western gift card.
Prinks Tires in the USL help soccer journeys everywhere to drive harder. From city playgrounds to suburban sidelines, from early mornings to late nights, from fun with friends to winner takes all, from the biggest fan to the biggest heart. And at every turn, Prinks Tires will be there for the long haul.
USL League One kicks off. Players shield winners. He does it again. Their first ever goal in club history.
Toyota of Lancaster's Buy Local and Save sales event is on. Come down today to save big on hundreds of vehicles in stock. Cars, SUVs, trucks, hybrids, and more. We have new vehicles arriving daily in the market for a used vehicle. Toyota of Lancaster has a massive selection of used and Toyota certified used vehicles to choose from. Drive with confidence in the vehicle you deserve. Bad credit, no problem. Toyota of Lancaster will make your vehicle purchase safe, simple, and fun. Shop online at toyotaoflancaster.com. Toyota of Lancaster. Buy local and save.
Back here in the Antelope Valley for halftime, presented by Pepsi. 2-1, Chattanooga have the lead right now over AV Alta. Pretty chaotic first 30 minutes. We'll see what the second half has in store for us. But first, let's take a peek at what these two teams have coming up on the slate. The 2026 AV Alta FC upcoming schedule presented by Morongo Casino, Resort and Spa. So, AV Alta. Some games coming up. First off, after this one is done, maybe up against Union Omaha. Meanwhile, for Chattanooga, they got their little bit of a break, really, after this game. 2 weeks from now, they will have their home opener this season against Fort Wayne, of the expansion clubs this season. Really, it's an expansion club gauntlet, as you see here. Corpus Christi, Athletic Club Boise, or the New York Cosmos in Sarasota. Let's just line them all up, make it 5 in a row. That would be great, though, getting back to see at Chai Memorial Stadium and getting in a home game, starting out with 3 straight on the road when you incorporate the Lamar Hunt U.S. Open Cup match as well. So they'll be happy to take that flight home after this one is done. Just get ready to go and get the fans
in the house and cheering them on and not having to be in adverse environments, as we now take a look at tonight's out-of-town sports brought to you by Visit Big Bear. So it's been a busy weekend, and the nice thing is it's been pretty staggered as well. So if you were wanting to watch as many USL League One games as possible, you have actually been able to eat pretty heavily this weekend from Friday into today. And there's still another game on Sunday tomorrow. Pretty interesting results here. How about the Charlotte Independents at home throttling Spokane Velocity? New York Cosmos getting their first victory as a club in USL League One. That is, of course, the Cosmos, a historic side. Fort Wayne still looking for their first win. Sarasota also getting their first USL League One win. As we now take a peek at the AV Alta schedule, they got Union Omaha coming up next week, and then a quick turnaround going up north to play Spokane Velocity. And then, of course, Athletic Club Boise back here at the home field against the expansion club. So, a lot of great games coming up, but we also have a great second half coming up as the bubble machine is out. We'll see you after this break with the first half highlights, first half stats, and then the second half kickoff.
It is halftime in USL League One. We hope you're enjoying your match so far. I'm Dan Lucas inside the USL studio with a look at some of the headlines from the week. Union Omaha's home opener in Week 3 was memorable for forward Diego Gutierrez, who scored twice in a 3-2 win over AC Boise. Gutierrez joined Union Omaha before this season, returning to the field where he played his college soccer at Creighton University. And in his 100th League One appearance, midfielder Luis Gil, the former U.S. national team player, scored a goal in a 3-1 win over the New York Cosmos, the first ever 2-0 start for Spokane. League One made some noise in round 1 of the U.S. Open Cup, sending 7 clubs into the second round. And some intriguing regional matchups against USL Championship competition. Charlotte Independents will face Charleston Battery, while the Richmond Kickers host Loudoun United. Upcoming matches to watch in the championship. Saturday, April 4th, big battle atop the Eastern Conference. Louisville City hosting Charleston Battery. Saturday, April 18th, Charleston back on CBS-SN hosting Tampa Bay Rowdies. And then the Prinks Tires USL Cup on April 25th. Hartford Athletic hosts rival Rhode Island on CBS-SN. This is the USL halftime update. We're getting close to the second half. Let's send you back to your match.
Are you wondering who belongs at Antelope Valley College? Let me introduce you to some students.
Dreamers.
Career builders.
Transfer students.
Working parents.
Veterans.
Student athletes.
First-generation students.
In short, you belong at AVC.
We're here for you, so visit avc.edu and apply today.
Life is about making connections, and AVTA is your way to connect with the rest of the Antelope Valley. AVTA connects you to your friends, your family, local services and businesses, healthcare, even where you work. At AVTA, we make your connections possible. Get on board today. AVTA empowers mobility, getting people where they need to be safely, timely, and cost-effectively.
Insurance companies are not your friend. In fact, their sole job is to make certain you get as little as possible at a time when you need it the most. At the Paris Law Firm, we have a long track record of forcing insurance companies to pay you every penny that you're owed. If you've been hurt in a crash, call us at the Paris Law Firm so we can help you in your time of need.
My school schedule was packed. I had no time to practice.
I wanted to chase my dreams without sacrificing my education.
Then I found Learn for Life. Flexibility means I don't have to choose between practice and school.
I get to chase my dreams and learn at my own pace.
I can learn my way.
I can learn my way.
Learn for Life High Schools, completely free. Enroll.
The tail end of halftime presented by Pepsi is here for you. Chattanooga leading 2-1 after 45 plus 5 minutes in the first half of action. Mark Schoenster with you on ESPN+. A Let's take a peek at the highlights here from the first half of action. And it started right after the whistle, basically. Some spillage, slip up here from Ayambila and Cesar Bahena. Able to chop that one in for Adam Almesh. Nods it home, gives the home side the lead. Halftime highlights presented by Pepsi for you here. Off the crossbar, it's a nice finish from the French winger. But then, Chattanooga would be on the prowl on the other side. It's a good goal line clearance from Jimmy Villalobos. And then the goal. You'll have to fill in the blank here just a little bit as it is knotted in nicely by Toby Adewale. Then Mercer trying to make it 2-1, and although he's unsuccessful in doing that, he does draw the penalty. And then his teammate Omar Hernandez will finish the job to make it 2-1 in favor of the Red Wolves. As we take a look at the Pepsi halftime stats, well, we knew the possession disparity would be something like this, but 78% is still pretty staggering. Hasn't stopped Chattanooga from getting opportunities. The moment they get the ball, they are launching down the field, creating moments, creating opportunities. And look, they've been able to take advantage of those chances when they've gotten them. Maybe Alta needs to be more prepared and more careful with where they're losing the ball. Chattanooga, honestly, stay the course here. You're thinking maybe you go down early in a game that you have to, at some point, eventually adjust the approach. Now, granted, you can see the goal in the second minute. There's still so much time in the game. You don't want to change things too much at that moment. But at some point in time, you're thinking you may have to chase the game, but it didn't really last that long at the end of all things. They were able to find an answer, and look, they have got a steely group of players who committed to a way of play. Scott McKenzie has done a fantastic job in implementing a mentality, a style, a mindset that they are committed to, and it's what got them second place last season, and now they're looking to take that extra jump here and the follow-up. We'll see if those steely nerves can get them 3 points on the road. An element of the season that they could improve upon from last year, and it could help them make that little jump. It's not like anything drastic needs to happen for them to be in that Players' Shield category, but it's the fine margins at the top that are the hardest to attain. If everybody could do it, then obviously everybody would. Meanwhile, Levi Alta here in front of the home crowd will have to take that energy and continue with their creativity and persistence with the ball. They're certainly going to be afforded it. Can they hold it with some care? And that'll be a foul on Almesh. Thought he was going to get away with the pull, but it was right in front of our head official, Dion Cox, so he's privy. Not going to let something maybe a little bit more low-key like that slide. Now Des Dune launches it in, and it's knocked away. AV Alta, Hernandez having a go himself. And although Jabril Doumbia had time to track that one down and catch it, you always worry, though, when you have too much time to think about the ball coming your way. Try to be better on the road this season than last year if you're Chattanooga. The other thing that was a difference Scott McKenzie's looking for this season is this one slotted through, but the tap back from Bahena, not on the same page with Des Dune. Another thing they're looking for this season, the Red Wolves, is to find that consistent goal scorer at the top. A lot of guys chipped in last season, which is great, and you hope that continues, but you also want that bona fide guy. Someone that the other team has to circle and really worry about, which can then open things up for everybody else once again. So you bring back Rapapa Mensah, looking for Grayson Mercer to take another step. He's been a danger in this game and already has a goal this season. You keep the guys who maintain the culture you've built, and then you try to find upgrades elsewhere. At least, of course, that's the goal, that they're upgrades, but you never guarantee anything. Omar Hernandez will throw it in. Desdoon doing really well there to shrug up contact, and now that he has effectively run out of real estate to run through, the advantage runs off, and Pedro Hernandez will be given a yellow card, his second of the season. He had the chance to try to break free, but Hernandez keeping that from happening. So he will get the yellow card. Yellow card brought to you by Paris Law Firm, the nation's best for personal injury attorneys. Desdoon chopping to his left. Taken away by Acosta. He'll roll it forward. Look at Mercer dashing. But he is met step for step with Helivanov. Mercer once again making a run. Him and Helivanov duking it out. And they're going to call a foul here. Bulgarian center back. Can't believe it. It'll be a set piece for Chattanooga. This was one of their strong suits last season. Being able to punish you from these dead ball moments. Omar Hernandez, one of the key creators on this team for Chattanooga this season. Almesh going to leave the wall and go and mark instead. Desdoon will sort of just loiter on by to mark on to Gomez after the fact. Curling effort sent in. And a scuffle for the ball. The whistle sounds, and Jabril Doumbia, hands on his face, may have taken a shot to the head. Luckily, he's back up and good to go. The ref going to check on him. This replay brought to you by US Outdoor Lighting, making America bright since 1984. Pajaro. Ortiz playing it over the left-hand side for Almesh. Good step inside, Almesh. Nowhere to go with it. He's walled off. Several white jerseys closing any aggressive step from being taken, so he has to go backwards. Helivanov rolling it to his center back compatriot before it's played forward to Desdoon. Tussling through two challengers. Desdoon now in the middle for Lay. Almesh. Curling effort sent in and well off target. AV Alta FC are proud to partner with US Outdoor Lighting, your complete source for outdoor lighting. Visit usaltg.com to find out more. You hear the constant drumming and drone from the supporters here. Such a great fan base in the Antelope Valley, and Brian Claben was quick to talk about it. Just such incredible support, especially from the 661 supporters group. They always show up. You mentioned they deserve more goals to cheer on, and they aim to give it to them. Bahena, hoping to give the fans something to cheer about here. Lays it out wide. Cross curled in. Almesh knotted down. Straight to the goalkeeper. On this U.S. outdoor lighting replay. Dipped down nicely for Almesh. Lobos will cut it back to the middle for Lay. Osvaldo Lay turning 23 today, so happy birthday to the Panamanian. Almesh. Bahena trying to weave his way inside. It's tough to crack down against this Chattanooga team. A Chattanooga side that had a really good week in training. Scott McKenzie mentioned he had 0 complaints from his guys for how they responded after the Open Cup loss. Here's a long ball up the pitch. Mercer. Flag stays down. Grayson Mercer taken out very nicely by Pajaro. Mercer hurt. Are they going to give him the foul? A lot of contact there, but let's take a peek at this challenge again here. Oh, never mind. He sweeps straight through Mercer. After the play, some dissent has come the way of Kaloyan Halivanov, who's been given a yellow card after the fact. The yellow card brought to you by Paris Law Firm, the nation's best for personal injury attorneys. Miguel Pajaro's challenge just outside the penalty area, taking out Grayson Mercer, who's already drawn a penalty in this game. Just went through the legs first. Thought maybe at first he had curled around the feet and got the ball. Ends up being a rough challenge for Mercer to take. This injury stoppage is brought to you by Southwest Healthcare. Southwest Healthcare Palmdale Regional Medical Center brings health in harmony. Visit palmdaleregional.com for more information on all of our hospital services. Communication happening with our head official and the 4th official here. And a free kick incoming for the Red Wolves. Some extra discussion here as Livanov a little confused about what's happening here. So Polivanov was the one given the yellow card, and I think he's just now realizing that's what's happened. They're pointing now that it was Pajaro, the one who made the challenge. All right, I think there's some clearing up that's happening here. I think Polivanov, let's see if he's going to get the yellow card waved off. So it has been waved off, and now a red card has just been given to Pajaro. Oh my word. Well, what looked like was just going to be a clerical correction of a yellow card being moved from one center back to the other. Has now resulted in Miguel Pajaro being straight up sent off. This red card brought to you by Paris Law Firm, the nation's best for personal injury attorneys. Wow. So some extra had to be done there because obviously he wasn't given a straight red after the challenge, and neither was Polivanov, had it been the case that he had been accidentally assessed for the foul, because he was only given a yellow card. AV Alta's now down a man as this one shot towards goal and skipped just wide. Omar Hernandez trying to strike while the iron is hot. So here's a look at the challenge again. I mean, yes, it's a foul. I don't think that's a red card foul on its own. Because it's not the denial of a clear goal-scoring opportunity, because Polivanov is there running with them as we get this corner kick brought to you by Toyota of Lancaster. There's a lot to unpack here. Hernandez, cross swung in, headed away. Ball sent inside, played to goal, but Bentley is offside. Doumbia roll it over to the right-hand side as AV Alta now have to play the rest of this game shorthanded. Ball launched up the pitch, and Chattanooga will launch it away. Mercer cutting it up to Hernandez, and wasn't able to get onto it, but they'll continue to press and try to win the ball in enemy territory. It was already going to be a tough task. Scoring on Chattanooga has gotten tougher now for AV Alta. Ryan Bila rolling it up to Hernandez. Mercer playing it to the left. Gomez curling this one outside. Cross sent in, and somehow that was kept in play, and that'll be a foul and a free kick for AV Alta. All right, so we got some word on site about what happened in that red card situation. So the challenge was made. We'll give you just sort of the timeline of what happened here. Dion Cox thinks that the challenge was made by Kaloyan Polivanov, gives him a yellow card. They set up the free kick, and the officials on the sideline basically buzz in to our head official, tell him that he carded the wrong guy. and that it actually should be a red card foul. So he waves off the yellow card to Polivanov and then gives Miguel Pajaro a red card for that foul. Now, whether that's a red card foul or not, obviously is then up for interpretation. I'm not entirely sold that it is. Of course, to each their own. Almesh. Iambila running it along the touchline. Relaford does well to shrug him off. Toyota of Lancaster are proud founding partners of AV Alta FC, driving the Antelope Valley forward. Find out more by visiting toyotaoflancaster.com. Things certainly swaying in favor of Chattanooga now, as I was talking about earlier before that whole debacle. Felt like they had a good training week. Cross sent inside, nodded wide. Looking to double the advantage, now up a player as well. Bahena tracking back to help involve in the build-up. Long ball up the pitch. And although it was a little tight, Jason Smith able to get there, and he'll have a word with his center back, Eric Kinzer. Managing the comms and where to run off of the ball if it's coming the way the keeper. Here's Harry Jolly. Service going in and knocked away effectively by AV Alta. Here's Alfredo Ortiz, one who intervened on that forward pass and then gets things going, moving in the other direction. Almesh. Bahena dancing in, tries the curler off the woodwork. The follow-up is through. AV Alta down a player, equalize. Wow. It's a dazzling shot that rips the woodwork. And then the cleanup crew came in. Bahena, it's a great effort. And then awaiting is Colin Anderson. That goal brought to you by Snow Orthodontics. Score your best smile with Snow. Colin Anderson with his first goal for AV Alta. Getting the job done after a great shot from Cesar Bahena. And then we get a substitution. Player recycling for AV Alta, powered by WM. Godwin Antwi in the game for Adam Almesh. So AV Alta finding a response despite the man disadvantage. Cesar Bahena now having a big say in both of the goals. Yellow card was just given to Eric Kinzer for that last bit of contact on Anderson. That yellow card brought to you by Paris Law Firm, the nation's best for personal injury attorneys. Well, what a chaotic game this has been here at Lancaster Municipal Stadium. It's had a little bit of everything so far. Bahena in the middle for Ortiz. Two players wiping out behind Bahena. Plays it in the middle. Des Dunes. Great challenge. A brave challenge inside the penalty area. And now Mercer on the other side. Being defended by Lay. We'll chop it to Hernandez. Pedro Hernandez. The effort is there, and it's knocked away for a corner kick. This corner kick brought to you by Toyota of Lancaster. Chattanooga trying to find a quick response. They were able to answer pretty promptly when AV Alta scored the first time. Hernandez has to halt before his service. Red official Dion Cox once again needing to settle some drama inside the penalty area. There's certainly been drama aplenty in this game. Hernandez. Kept in bounds by Pedro Hernandez. Another cross lofted in. Not out of the woods yet. And now Adewale is going to be called for a foul. Lots of whistles, lots of drama in this one. An early goal from AV Alta. A quick answer from Chattanooga, and a lot more after that. Can't watch the match? Turn on SiriusXM FC 157, North America's only 24/7 source for engaging soccer talk, including USL All Access on Tuesday nights. Plus hear live matches from the USL, MLS, Premier League, and more, all on SiriusXM FC 157 and the SiriusXM app. Penalty goal gives Chattanooga the lead. And then things look like they're going to get even better after that with a red card being issued to Miguel Pajaro, and that was a whole can of worms too. Effort nearly squeezing through there for Chattanooga, and it's out for a corner kick. Despite being down a player, AV Alta finding an equalizer. Voloyan Polivanov going to sub out of the game. Mabumu Alassane will sub on. Player recycling for AV Alta, powered by WM. And now we have a corner kick brought to you by Toyota of Lancaster, as Chattanooga once again have a set piece. Dubia going airborne to punch that one away. And there was some colliding happening right around that right post, at least the right post from the perspective of the goalkeeper. Curling ball in. Mercer glanced it, lifted up once more, but it's immediately sent out. And would you know, it's a corner kick for Chattanooga. Worth acknowledging also, substitutions being made here by AV Alta. None from Chattanooga, who again have a really short bench. 6 players, but that's 6 in a generous sense. This corner kick brought to you by Toyota of Lancaster. Rolling ball sent in. Mercer spinning out for a goal kick. Experience the best night in the AV. AV Alta matches are the perfect place to make lifelong memories with your friends and family. Your group of 10 or more can enjoy discounted tickets, exclusive on-field experiences, and private hospitality areas to catch the match. Visit avaltafc.com to learn more and plan a memorable night. Both teams missing some players due to national team call-ups. Goalkeeper Denzel Smith and Javier Mariona for AV Alta. And fullback Joshua Ramos for Chattanooga. Desdoon goes down. Late push on the back. And now it appears the yellow card has just been issued as the fans have them on hand here. Harry Jolly being issued the red card, or the yellow card, excuse me, brought to you by Paris Law Firm, the nation's best for personal injury attorneys. Brian Clavin, very much pro national team call-ups, as you would imagine. Said him and the organization are very proud. And another foul call here. Nothing like putting on that shirt for your country. It's huge and we love it. He also mentioned Jerry Desdoon last year getting the call up after being out of the pro game for 2 years. He'll quickly take it. Villalobos. Roll it out to the right-hand side for Relaford. Basically, they want and hope for their players to get that call up, and when it happens, it's next man up. Desdoon knocked away from him. But it's certainly a suffering from success situation. A player is playing well, which means you then don't have access to them for a game or two. They certainly don't ponder the negatives too much. Bahena with some room to operate, rolls it ahead. Anderson takes it himself. Tried to go near post. Catch Jason Smith off guard, but the goalkeeper making a good apt save. Look on the US Outdoor Lighting replay. Anderson, not a bad shot. But the 22-year-old goalkeeper was ready for it. Which means a corner kick brought to you by Toyota of Lancaster. It's played short to Bahena. He finds Ortiz. Returns the favor. They'll go back and forth until the window of opportunity opens itself. Ortiz lifted up, kept in bounds, and Mercer will hoof it up the pitch. Well, if you didn't see that little red icon underneath AV Alta's name over in the top left corner, I don't think you would know that they're down a player right now the way they have been possessing the ball and approaching this game. Well, you got to applaud them for how they've responded since then. In essence, a positive +1 goal differential since going down. Desdoon. Roll this one back, and Alassane will give it right to Desdoon once again. Bahena cutting it through. Anderson trying to lift it back into the center. It's knocked out for another corner. This Corner kick is brought to you by Toyota of Lancaster. Bahena. Crossing it in. And the whistle sounds, I believe, for a handball. So the Red Wolves will make a substitution nearly 80 minutes into the game. Aaron Lombardi will sub on for Matt Bentley. Pretty like for like there. He'll bomb down the right-hand side the way Bentley would. Player recycling for Chattanooga Red Wolves, powered by WM. It looks like Scott McKenzie has another player getting himself ready to go here. Villalobos. Alisson will roll it over to the left-hand side. Bahena, who has been very good today for AV Alta. You have him to thank for both of the goals they've scored so far, and he's been heavily involved in build-up outside of that. Relaford. Bahena once more taps it to his left for Desdune. Osvaldo Lay. It slips through. And a shot effort there from Antwi. It's immediately blocked. But it is the home side trying to ask the questions here and break through. Chattanooga voting and waiting for their moment and opportunity. You do wonder about their legs and how they're surviving up to this point. A lot of these guys are going to be asked to play the whole 90 minutes, more than usually would in a game, given their substitution circumstances. Bahena sliding it to the left-hand side. Anderson in the corner. Back out to Bahena. Osvaldo Lay. He's also had to, in essence, do double duty here since the sending off of the captain, Miguel Pajaro. What was a really strange sequence of events. Bahena stepping inside. Colin Anderson gets swiped and he'll draw the foul. It'll be a free kick for AV Alta in a dangerous spot. The Jamaican striker still down on the ground. Aaron Lombardi, fresh off the bench. Here's a look again on the U.S. Outdoor Lighting replay. So now the free kick. Desdune. Up top to Bahena. Already had one go from here, and he'll have another. This one takes a deflection. High boot, and that's what's whistled and called here by our head official. Osvaldo Lay going airborne to try to chop that one into danger, but it was dangerously close to the goalkeeper's face, Jason Smith. eFootball is here. Live your dream, rep your team, and play as your favorite USL Championship club. eFootball is free to play. Download now. Now it's Chattanooga's turn to try and throw some punches. Up a player, but haven't had the positivity to reclaim the lead. Kinzer. Up the pitch to Ayambila. A lot of tempers flaring here for the visiting side. Not a fan of a lot of these decisions that have been made by our head official, but you gotta play with what's given to you. It's another one of those control the controllable situations. Dubia unwavering with his pass despite Hernandez right in front of him. Dune with a run on the other side. And it's kept in bounds. Just barely, though. It has been quite the battle between these two sides today. There's also been quite a ton of drama as well. Penalty kicks, cards being switched from one player to another, and then that card being switched from a yellow to a red. Quite a few goals. Now Bahena's on the ground, and we also might get some substitutions for the visitors, and we'll get them here. Ropapa Mensah is on for Omar Hernandez. And Wynan Wessels, who's not at 100% by any stretch of the imagination, will also sub on. He'll be on for Gomez. Player recycling for Chattanooga, powered by WM. Meanwhile, two changes incoming now for AV Alta, including Miguel Ibarra. Will be subbing in for the first time this season. Christian Ortiz will be joining him. Ibarra, of course, the first signing for AV Alta, coming back to his hometown. All right, we're getting more of a debacle here. There have been some moments here in this game. And now a yellow card has just been given to the coaching staff, the assistant in particular. For those curious, that's Luke Winter, the assistant coach, and also, of course, been involved with the organization in the academy sense and with the Lady Red Wolves since 2019. So Wynan Wessels has not subbed into the game yet. We really have had some really odd situations in this game. Mensah, the one guy who did sub into the game. All right, why not get some more substitutions now? Or at least I thought. This has certainly been, to put it kindly, something. Jolly rolling it up to Lombardi. Cross comes in. Ortiz chops it over to the right-hand side. Villalobos gets it away to his right. Turning on the burners there. Anderson trying to get it up the pitch. All right, Wynan Wessels is in the game now. So he's officially subbed on for Omar Gomez. And now the substitutions for AV Alta will come in. So Miguel Ibarra making his debut this season. Had 10 total appearances last year. Still looking for his first goal with AV Alta. So he's on for Colin Anderson, who scored the equalizing goal. And Christian Ortiz subbing on for Cesar Bahena, who has been quite the contributor in this game for AV Alta. And with time running down here, these guys will be looking to see this result out. I'm not sure how aggressive you're trying to be at the end unless you can really find a great opportunity. Because you, on the other end, don't want to expose yourself and offer up a chance for Chattanooga up a player or two. Find a game winner on the road. Desdune. Lofting that one up, and Villalobos couldn't get on the end of it. Adewale. Pulling it over to his right for Acosta. Feeds it in centrally for Wessels. Red Wolves looking for a late game shocker. And it's trickled through, dips down and over top. Here's another peek at it here on the US Outdoor Lighting replay. Jubia couldn't quite get his hands on it cleanly. Despite that, the Red Wolves unable to take advantage of that fact. All right, fourth official has indicated 6 minutes of Southwest Healthcare stoppage time. Southwest Healthcare at Palmdale Regional Medical Center brings health in harmony. Visit palmdaleregional.com for more information on all their hospital services. Free kick pending here for AV Alta. Desdune. Back out to him. Christian Ortiz going back and forth with him as they're trying to figure out a way to wiggle Chattanooga out of space and out of shape. Hopeful ball sent in, caught by Jason Smith. Aaron Lombardi going to be given a yellow card here. He had already been issued a warning by our head official, Dion Cox, and now he's pleading his case, but he's got to be careful. This yellow card brought to you by Paris Law Firm, the nation's best for personal injury attorneys. This injury stoppage brought to you by Southwest Healthcare. Southwest Healthcare Palmdale Regional Medical Center brings health in harmony. Visit palmdaleregional.com for more information on all of our hospital services. It's Alfredo Ortiz, who's currently down on the ground, getting stretched out. He's played the whole 90+ minutes. Well, we've nearly had 3 minutes of the 6 slotted off, though some of that was also dead play time, so I hesitate to say that at 96 minutes we're going to get a final whistle here. We'll be going into uncharted territory after that, depending on just how much our head official decides to add on. Desdune shifting into his right. Kept in bounds. And they're going to say it's a handball. And handball on AV Alta to be precise. They're going to put the yellow card on Godwin Antwi as well for that interaction. Yellow card brought to you by Paris Law Firm, the nation's best for personal injury attorneys. Jolly. It's by Mercer. Now Ayambila. All right, well now something has to be called, and you got to be careful because tempers are going to flare over here if interactions like that continue to happen, even though there's only a couple minutes left. Both sides are trying to go and find 3 points here, and it's been a physical game. It's been a game rife with some controversy, contact, with disagreement. You don't want it to all boil over here in the final moments of the game. Antwi. Once again, a little bit too exuberant over there on the right-hand side. Mercer plays that one in centrally, and Osvaldo Ley will boot it out. Headed across, and a foul called on Ropapa Mensah. Trying to get away with the push there on Babumu Alassane. So we've hit the 96 minutes that were allocated. Let's see how much extra time Dion Cox opts to give this game. A game that's had a little bit of everything. Does it have one more last dramatic moment? Tactfully done there by AV Alta. Kept in bounds. Chattanooga trying to launch in one last goal before this one's said and done. Wessels. Ross ripped in. Ref checking his watch. No whistle sounded. Acosta. Up to Lombardi. He finds Jolly. Ball skipping inside, knocked in the air. And there's your final whistle. A game soaked with drama, a little bit of controversy, and a whole lot of excitement. Both sides will leave this one with a point apiece. 2-2 your final score. What a game. Got started immediately, and it didn't really let off the pedal after that. I think both sides will have things to take away positively and negatively. A bit of a mess at times of a match. It's quite the game as we now have a chance to take a look at our man of the match, brought to you by Morongo Casino Resort and Spa. Cesar Bahena Jr. was everywhere in this game. Got the assist to start off the match, has the pseudo assist with the shot off the crossbar for their second goal, and was heavily involved in their possessional play throughout the game. Well deserving of being the man of the match in that regard, as we now will step aside for a break. When we come back, we'll have all of our post-game thoughts here on ESPN+. Tonight's match was presented by Paris Law Firm, the nation's best for personal injury attorneys. Proud founding partner of AV Alta FC. Find out more at paris.com. 2-2 your final score here as we now recommend that you experience the best night in the AV. The 2026 season schedule is presented by Morongo Casino Resort and Spa. AV Alta is set to host Union Omaha on Saturday, April 4th. Kickoff for that match is at 7:30 p.m. and tickets are on sale now. Get yours before they're gone at avaltafc.com. All right, time for some full-time highlights presented by Chick-fil-A Lancaster and Palmdale. Eat more chicken. Started off 2 minutes into the game. Some slippage from Ian Bila and Cesar Bahena. Lifts it up into the air for Adam Almesh to nod home, and it's early limbs for AV Alta fans, and it's a ripping start to the game against a stout Chattanooga defense, but the Red Wolves would respond. Had a chance here. The header cleared off the line by Villalobos, but then it would continue. Lofted cross, headed in. Adewale gets the finish, and Chattanooga would take the draw at that point in time, and then they would take the lead here with Grayson Mercer going down. Penalty kick awarded, and putting it away, Omar Hernandez. 2-1. They would go into the halftime break with that lead. Now, let's take a peek at our save of the game, brought to you by Edwards Federal Credit Union. Get your AV Alta FC fan card today. Your club, your card. Find out more at edwardsfcu.org. Great save there from Jabril Doumbia, stepping in for Denzel Smith to make the save and keep this at a 1-goal scoreline. Now, post red card, AV Alta down a player. It's our play of the match presented by Pepsi. What a moment here. Bahena with the shot. Dings the crossbar. Anderson, right place, right time, which is one of the talents you need to have as a striker, is just having that nose for goal. It fell to him, and he got the job done. So, 2-2 your final score. Some conversations to be had for both coaching staffs post-game. Lot to really think about for these two teams coming out of this one as we look at the final match stats presented by Chick-fil-A Lancaster and Palmdale. Eat more chicken. You see here 75% possession here for AV Alta. Despite going down a man in the second half, continued to have the ball, create chances, but Chattanooga did what Chattanooga does, which is defend ferociously. And they were able to come out of here with the point. I think if you told the coaching staff for the Red Wolves that you're going to get a point out of this game, I don't think you're too torn up with that. You'll take it on the road. Meanwhile, AV Alta, you'd think they'd want all 3 points here, but once the context has been added, I think they don't mind the fact that they were able to get a point out of this game. This is where our broadcast will end, and this is where a busy USL League One day will end here on ESPN+. If you've been watching since the New York Cosmos Fort Wayne game all the way up to this one, I salute you. That's a lot of soccer to be watching. For our entire broadcasting crew, my name is Mark Schoenster. We hope you have a fantastic night, and we'll see you again tomorrow in USL League One on ESPN+.
This copyrighted telecast of the United Soccer League cannot be retransmitted, rebroadcast, or reproduced without the express written consent of the United Soccer League.